is part 1.
What is a join in SQL? A join clause merges two or more tables based on a related column between them. Let's take a look at this example where we have to select employees and their department from the given tables. So first table is employee and second table is department. Let's run these two to see what columns do we have in these tables. Employee table has ID, name, department ID, pay. Department table has department name, which is dep name, and department ID. We know that we can join these two by using the related column, which is department ID, department ID. We will simply write a select statement as select a dot name, comma, b dot dep name as department from employee join department B on a dot dept ID equal b dot dept ID. Run this query and you will get a join result from these two tables, which is name from employee table and department name from department table. What are the types of joins in SQL? There are four main types of joins that are most popular. Number one is inner join that retrieves the matched rows only. Number two is left join that retrieves all records from the left table and the matching records from the right table. Number three is right join that retrieves all the records from the right table and the matching records from the left table. And number four is full join that retrieves all rows from both joined tables. It doesn't matter if there's a match or not. Which SQL command is used to add rows to a table? We use insert into command. Let's do one example. First, let's run this query, which is select all from employee. To look at the columns that we have ID, name, department ID, pay. I would like to add one more row, even though I have a lot of employees and their IDs, department ID and pay here, but I want to add one more row. I will do it as insert into command table name, which is employee. Put it in parentheses, your column names, column 1, column 2, comma, column 3, column, column name 4, which is ID, name, department ID, pay. You will write the column names as is given in the table. Department ID, pay. The values that you want to add, first write values. In parentheses, you will add the values for those rows. For ID, remember that this column is giving me integer, so I have to write only numbers. I will choose random number 107, comma, name. Name data type is varchar, so I will write Sid, my name, just for example. Department ID, here I see that it's only integer, and when you have to do inserting or deleting, make sure that you are doing you are aware of the data type of those columns. So here I'm using integer, so I will write my department ID as 1, comma, pay. I would like to give myself maybe like $1 million salary. Just for fun. And then run this query. It says one row if affected, completion time, it's giving you the completion time, meaning this was successful. Now if I go here, select all from employee, where condition ID equals 107. Remember, I just added ID 107 that was not there before, and I run this now. I will get another row that gives me 107 named Sid, department ID is 1, and the pay is million. When do you use the case when function? Case statement is SQL's way of handling if-then logic. Let's take a look at an example and use case when function to understand it better. Here I have a table called students. I'm doing a simple query, select all from students to see all the columns inside it. I have student ID, name, grade they're in, and graduation date. Now I have to select student names and senior status as yes if they're in grade 12. I have student names here, but I don't have a column called senior status. And here comes case when statement. So I will write it as select name, which is this column, case when statement, case when grade equals 12, since they give us a condition here, then yes, else no, and as senior status from students. Here I'm asking the SQL to select name, case when grade is 12, then give me yes, otherwise give me no, and it as senior status, and this will become my column. This will become my column's name from students. Let's run this query, and here you are. The result says these are the students and their senior statuses. James R is not a senior, Robert J is a senior, yes. Michael is a senior, yes. Williams, yes, and so on. This is how you solve and use case when function. What is the difference between union and union all? Union removes any duplicate records, whereas union all keeps all the records. Let's just say if I have two tables, table A, table B, if I do union, I will only get distinct rows, no duplicate records. But if I use union all in a query, I will be getting all the records. See, I have two duplicates. This is the difference between union and union all. Thank you. Like and subscribe for part 2 of this video.